Hello and welcome to the webinar and workshop. This is Pick a Winning Product, the 5 secret strategies. Gain the confidence to pick a product and start your Amazon business today. So what we're going to walk through today is the strategy that the Amazon Gorillaz tribe members have been using to get real results. And these are tangible results. Okay, so we've got the big fish competition strategy. And we're going to go through each of these separately. But we're going to increase your odds strategy. And another one is product variation strategy. All of these are specific and very important in order to get the results. Touch on these last two now. Revenue distribution. Okay, that is a strategy that a lot of people miss. We've got that covered. We've got your back on this one. Test, evaluate, and reboot strategy. And we're going to go through these in detail, but these are basically the 5 main strategies that do get tangible results from all of our members, including us.
So, hey, Paul, why don't we get started and teach people how to find a product?
Sounds like a perfect opportunity to jump into the next slide. Here's a little bonus for you. If you stay to the end of the webinar, we'll give you full access to not just some tools, but a full mini course. Now, this mini course is how to find a product and how to find a product champion, basically as a winning product. And we will be able to walk you through, and it's over the shoulder stuff. Okay, so we'll be able to walk you through from start to finish on how to find a product. This is yours. Okay, so if you like, as long as you stay towards the end of the video, we will get you that link, okay, towards the end. Why don't you walk me through the strategy number 1, avoid buying the Amazon Mega Buck lottery ticket, as we like to call it.
So what we want to do is we want to avoid buying Amazon Mega Bucks lottery tickets. Because what are your chances at competing with top sellers with thousands of reviews? Basically, you've got better odds at winning the lottery. And what I call this is the big fish approach. What I don't want you to do is swim with sharks. I think it makes more sense to avoid picking super competitive products where you have to be in the top 10% to actually be successful. So you're starting out in the opportunity that 90% of your efforts are likely going to fail because you're trying to be with the super successful people who've been doing this for a long time. You should sell products with less than 150 competitors. So what that means is total inside of your market for your main keyword that there are less than 150 competitors. Because once you get past that, it takes a lot more money to get into that market. It takes a lot more risk. And what we're trying to do with this first or second product is to become successful, learn the process, and get better and better each time we relaunch products.
Let me take over on strategy 2. Now, this is all about avoiding predictable problems. Now, let me explain what some of that means. Now, I've got a list here of 1 to 6. Let me read through that. Products to avoid: electronics or powered products. Now, the reason is that there's a higher probability, statistically, that an electronic component is more likely to fail than a non-electronic component. Okay, so if you've got a pure mechanical product, for example, a garlic press, that has a probability statistically proven that is less likely to fail than it's something that's got electronics on it. Okay, now the reason we want to steer clear of this when we're first starting out is because we want to avoid product returns. If you're getting a lot of product returns, that's not going to get your account very healthy. So that's going to have a negative effect on you. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why we're saying, to start with, let's avoid these products. Second one, complex or multiple pieces. Can you imagine if you were trying to sell a product that's got 3 or 4 different pieces and it needs to be assembled or put together in a certain way? Not everybody has got the ability to take on a complex product. Okay, take my poor old mum, for example. If I was going to sell a complex product and she got hold of that, she'd be on the phone with me. Paul, I can't work this out. Can you help me? Can you help me? That would be a typical example of a bad product to get into, because if I wasn't around with my mum, what would she do? Instantly return it. Return it for no apparent reason apart from she just found it too complicated to use. And the same goes with multiple pieces. If there's multiple pieces, there is a chance statistically again, that one of those pieces could be missing once it comes from the supplier. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is stack the odds in our favor in trying to avoid some of these products. I think the next one is fairly obvious: liquids and chemicals. If we're sending in liquid products, you can imagine if you've got a box of shampoo, for example, that box of shampoo contains maybe 12 bottles of shampoo, maybe just one of those leaks. Okay, just one of those leaks a little bit. Now, a liquid product, obviously, as you know, that goes everywhere. And once it gets into Amazon, well, it won't get into Amazon, because the guys at the sort of receiving end of Amazon, they'll look at this and say, you know what, this is damaged goods. We can't accept this straight away. So, and they'll just return it to send or refuse it. Okay, so you can't even get it in to sell to start with. Chemicals, well, they're hazardous products. We clearly want to stay away from hazardous products to start with. Okay, and I would say full stop. Okay, stay away from chemicals and hazardous products, full stop. Okay, one, you're not allowed to sell them on Amazon, so don't try and get in through the back door or anything like that. So steer clear of liquids and chemicals. Just makes sense. This is the next big one. So branded or patented products. A lot of people think they can go to China and buy a soft bear, okay, stuffed toy, and on there it's got the Disney logo, for example. And you think, you know what, Disney products, they sell a ton of these. They must be making a fortune. Well, yeah, they are, because it's their product. Does it mean that you could find that product to purchase in China? Well, yes, it does. All right. Does it mean that is illegal? Well, actually, I've got some bad news for you. It is illegal. All right. Do not even think about trying to sell a branded product. And I'm not just talking about Disney. I'm talking about other brands that have been registered. So it could be a small brand that you've never known about, but it's been registered. So therefore, it's a registered brand. If you were going to sell that, you would be copying it. Consequently, you'd be breaking the law. Okay. Do not go into branded products or patented products. Do a quick search. There's ways around it to find out whether it's patented or not. It's just not a good idea. You're going to get yourself into some hot water, in some trouble. Account closed before you even started. Okay. The next one I think is fairly obvious as well: glass or breakable products. Okay. What we don't want to be doing is sending in our nice champagne flutes, 6 to a box I'm selling, for example, send them into Amazon. They get out to the wedding gift. The bride opens them up and they're all smashed to pieces. You know, it's not a smart move. Sending in glass products to start with doesn't mean you can't sell these later on once you've got more experience. Well, once you've got more experience, you'll know how to handle certain things. But to start with, steer clear from glass and breakable products. Again, what are we trying to do? We're trying to stack the odds in our favor of making a very good product and business to start with. Okay, let's start this business on a level playing field, on a solid foundation. Okay, so let's not think about sending in anything breakable. And next one is it's quite humorous if you look into the sort of terms and service of Amazon and their guidelines. But this one it's sort of common sense as well. Go on or in human or pets. In other words, what I'm talking about is creams, lotions, potions, any supplements or anything like this. It's a big business. It's a big business, supplements. Okay, but to start with, I would suggest, and we suggest, that you don't start off with that type of product. Okay, if it goes on or in the skin, or in or ingestible, right? There's certain regulations that you need to meet with your product. Okay, it just means more hurdles, more hoops. And these are not just simple hoops. These are hoops full of fire, and it costs a lot of money in order to get through them. So again, why go down that difficult route to start with? All right. So these are the ones you need to avoid. Indeed, set your business on a solid foundation to start with, so you can start to build it up later on. Right. So now let me talk about strategy number 3. And this is all about product variation. Okay. Now, Amazon is not a place for inventors, brand new products, because what we're trying to do is fill an existing need. Someone's going to go on Amazon and do a search. All right. So if no one is searching for it, you can't sell it. I think that's a fairly obvious statement. Let me say that again. If no one's searching for it, you can't sell it. In other words, if no one knows about it, no one's going to buy it. Okay. So if you've got a brand new product on there, for example, it's a selfie drone that can fly up into outer space. All right. It's a brand new product I've just invented. Excellent. Fantastic. What's my marketing? Well, I haven't actually got any marketers. I'm just going to throw it straight into Amazon, see how I get on. Well, no one's actually heard about it, so therefore no one's going to put into the search term bar in Amazon selfie drone that can fly into outer space. No one's going to search for that because no one's even thinking about it, because I've not even advertised it. I've not even done anything as a brand new product. However, selfie drones, for example, everyone here has heard about it, so therefore we've got that need. Someone needs it. If someone needs it, I can sell it. You can sell it. Everyone can sell it. Okay. Quite humorous images on the right hand side there. But when we're trying to find a product, what we need to be doing is trying to pick a product with multiple variations. Okay, multiple variations. And we're going to get into an example in a minute. Rob's got a great example on the next slide. One thing that's going to help you in trying to determine a variable that you can put onto your product is read the reviews and solve a problem. Yeah. So for example, if you've got a product that you're looking at, read the reviews. On those reviews are saying, well, that's fine, but wouldn't it be good if this was an easy open? Or wouldn't it be good if it solved this particular aspect of the problem this product is designed for? Okay. Now, that's giving you a clue with respect to that's the type of variable aspect that I could put into my product. So when you're talking to your supplier for blue widgets, you could say to your supplier with blue widgets, you know what I would like, if possible, the blue widget on the top here, just add that little feature. Is that possible? Okay, talk to them and add that variation into your product. Okay, that then sets you aside and it solves a problem that you know that people have been looking for. Okay, improve the value or add a feature. Now, I just talked about adding a feature with respect to the blue widget and adding something to the blue widget that sets it apart, that solves the problem that you already know because someone's written it in a review somewhere. But improve the value. What do we mean by improve the value? Now, that could be as simple as adding additional product with your blue widget. So you're not just selling blue widgets, you're selling blue widget and a yellow widget that goes with it, right? The yellow widget it's not really the main product. You're not really selling the yellow widget, but it's the added value. When it comes to listing, you either need to be the budget guy. In other words, you're going to crush it because you're selling it the same as everybody else, but you are dollars less, or you need to go the other end. You need to be adding that value. You need to be adding that additional feature. You need to be the luxury listing, what we call the luxury listing. There's a number of products that Rob and I have done where we have done both. And we have been right up the top end, selling products for close to $100, over $100. We're not saying that this is the right strategy to start with, but on some of these particular products, we decided that in order for us to stand out, it is a risk and it's a gamble, but it's a calculated one because we've been doing this for a long time. Okay, but we created that luxury listing that set us apart from the competitors. And I think that's really important. Now, I think once we move into the next slide, you'll be able to see the importance of variabilities. What I'm going to do now is flick over to this next slide where we can actually start to see some variation. And I'm going to hand it over to Rob.
Product variation. I want to give you a really great example. It's one of my favorite examples of the things that we do and we share. That we talk about this all the time in the live webinars because there's such variation in this category. When I was doing this slide, I literally could fill up the whole page with the bee trap. There are so many different solutions to the same problem. As you can see here, each one of those things look different. People don't have in their mind a specific way in which to do this. So style, color, material, variety, different ways to solve the same problem. As you can see, just these 6 are completely different. If you go look at B-Trap after this, you're going to see that there are another probably 8 to 10 different variations. You can see the difference on the garlic press next to it. As you can even look at those 6, they almost look like they're all the same exact thing or very close. They're stainless steel, you know, and the way in which they pull the garlic out, or you're able to press the garlic out, is very similar. So that is a great representation of what we call product variation. You know, you got to be able to have the audience be able to look at other ways to solve the problem.
So Rob just mentioned revenue distribution. Let me just talk about that for a minute. The first aspect is that the top 4 products should not be more than 50% of the revenue. Let me try and explain that a little bit more. Now, when you do a search on Amazon, right, you get the results page through. Okay, and generally on that results page, say for doing garlic press, I'm going to stick with the garlic press for the moment. So I've searched in Amazon garlic press. Now, Amazon is going to show me the top set of garlic presses. Right, and on that page, there's going to be around 16 to 24, depending on what the product is and how Amazon are presenting the information. Okay, so call it 16 products. Right, the top 4 products. Right, what I need to be doing is I need to be adding up the estimated revenue per month to make sure that that is not more than 50% of the total of the 16 products on their total revenue. The top 4 products add up all of their revenue, or their estimated revenue. That should be no more than 50% of the total revenue of the first page. There are 16 products, add up the 16 products on the revenue. If it's 24 or whatever the case may is, add up all of those products, estimated revenues, and the top 4 should be no more than 50%. Why? Because what we don't want to be doing is fighting with the likes of Mike Tyson and some of these big hitters. Okay, that is those top 4. If we've got them more than 50% of the revenue, they have dominated that space, and there's no chance that we can get in there, or very little chance. Okay, that us as beginners can get in there and get a piece of their pie. Okay, we're going to be fighting over the crumbs like everybody else on the first page, and consequently after that. Okay, so remember, if the top 4 guys have got more than 50%, it's not a good move in order to carry on doing any more research on that particular product. Okay, let me have a look at the second one here. No more than 150 competitors, or less than 10 pages. Okay, so that's really important in order to move forward and get into a product category or a niche, or into an area that we're going to be start selling in. If we've got thousands of competitors, hundreds and hundreds or thousands of competitors like some of these products have, how do you stand a chance in order to get to that front page? Well, if you've got really, really deep pockets and a ton of money to throw at it, then I guess it's okay. But to start with, what we're trying to do is build up a business with a solid foundation that you can build upon. Okay, so it doesn't mean to say that you can't get into a very, very competitive market later on. What we're saying and suggesting here, and it's worked for our community, our members, and ourselves, that getting into a product with less than 150 competitors allows us that chance to move through and up into the rankings and make organic sales and land on page 2, 3, and ultimately on page 1. A lot easier than if you've got thousands of competitors. I'm sure that makes sense. Okay, right. More than 25 people earning money. Right, this is clear that we want to be selling a product that's got demand. Okay, that's basically what this means. So if there's 25 people in total or more that are making enough money, a reasonable amount of money, and that basically like I said, there's going to be 16 people on a page, 16 results on a page. So there's going to be around 2 to 3 pages worth. You need that spread of revenue over those pages. Going back to the first one here, the top 4 products should be no more than 50%. If they are, you'll be able to see once you do these analysis on some of these tools, and I've got a screenshot for you later, that if it's all on the first page, you're going to see a graph with what we call dive off the cliff. It's just going to fall off into nowhere. And if you're starting off and you're going to try and compete in this particular product range, right, you're going to just be banging your head up against the wall. You're not going to get anywhere. What we need is a nice, even distribution of the revenue over those 25 people. When it comes to product selling price, some people say, well, you know what, it'll be good to sell, a lot of products at $10. Or what if I get a product down, I can really crush it and I'm making $100 profit? Well, if you're making $100 profit, you're going to be, selling a product for $300. Okay. Our recommendation is that it needs to be more than $20, but less than 60. Now, the reason is more than 20 is by the time if you think about it, if the time you go and actually purchase the product from China, get the product shipped from China to America, you've got the product into Amazon. Amazon have got their particular fees for storage, shipping, picking, and sending. The rest of it is down to you. That's the net that comes out. So this is why we say the ideal entry-level playing field is between $20 and $60.
So strategy number 5, this is how we pull this all together. So what I'm talking about is get yourself started with 100 to 200 units. And then what you're going to do is you're going to launch and you're going to test these products and test the viability of these products before you go buy 1,000 of them or 2,000 or 5,000, so that you can find out before you do all of that whether you can sell them. And I'm going to tell you exactly how you can find this out. So what we want to do is we want to get that product in there. And then what we're trying to do is people often ask me, well, how am I going to get on the front page? Well, Amazon has this special deal with you, and it's what it's called is pay-per-click marketing. And pay-per-click marketing means that first slot and slots down the side, Amazon's gonna actually allow you to advertise on their platform your product in front of everybody else. It's one of the major ways in which Amazon makes money. They allow you to market your product to their customers for a fee. And what that means is that people are going to bid to have that top listing. So that means you could be number 1. 15 minutes after you launch your product, you can go start saying, I'll spend 50 cents every time someone clicks my listing at the top of the page. And Amazon will give you that slot. So it's not like some magic. So the idea is that we want to put you on the front page. We have some product to sell. We'll do some promotions, and we suggest that you got to get yourself to about 10 to 12 reviews. And the reason 10 to 12 is that creates at least 1 page of reviews. And what we've found statistically is about 80% of people feel that by having 12 reviews, there's enough social proof for them to be able to buy a product, especially under $50. So the better your listing looks, the more likely people trust that you're actually a good product. That's the only way they can get an impression. They can't touch it, feel it, taste it. But what they can do is make a judgment based upon the organization, the way in which your listing looks, how it's organized. The information is presented in a very quick and short way. Bullet points aren't tons and tons of words. They're not 500 characters worth of words. They're very short and to the point, and they give the answer. Your pictures, your bullet points, and your title. Those are super important. So now once you've got that, what we want to do is hone them in. So what you're going to do is you're going to launch this product. You're going to start pay-per-click. You're going to put yourself on the front page. You're going to have these great pictures. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start changing out the pictures. We're going to take one picture and move it here. And we're going to see whether that changes anything. We might raise the price a little bit or lower the price a little bit. We're going to start testing our listing to find out if that creates any more sales. Meanwhile, we're getting a lot of information about whether people are buying. So what happens is if you're spending pay-per-click, you're getting 100 clicks and nobody's buying your product, and if somehow we can't figure out that puzzle, What we want to do is, after we've tried to refine and look through the listing and make all the changes we can, if it's not going to sell with pay-per-click and it's not going to sell when you're on the front page and you're competing with the top people, and as well as pay-per-click puts you on the second page and you can be on the third page, and you're going to be able to track what's actually happening. Maybe it is that you don't have enough reviews, but people on page 2 might buy it because it's different. Is we want to understand whether or not this product can be successful. You've got 100 to 200 items. You spend a couple $1,000s, so you're not in over your head. You're able to kind of experiment and try to find out whether this product can be successful or not. If it's not, what I want you to do is I want you to decide to liquidate it. You start over again. You go back through the process again. But what the thing is you haven't wasted all your money. You haven't gone out and got stuck with 1,000 of them, and then it took you, 90, 120 days to liquidate them. And now what you've done is you've tested that product. Now, if it's successful, then what you're going to do is you're going to go back and evaluate your information. You're going to try to make some improvements, make those improvements, get some new product in there. You can order obviously more of those products because you went through your 100 items in that 45 days and you've checked it out. You've maybe went through 200. And if you see that, and if you start selling quickly, well, then you can make the decision much quicker. So we want you to test, evaluate, and improve your listing. And that's the main idea. And then what you can do is you get multiple products that you can sell in multiple areas, and that's going to give you an overall strategy.
Right, so let's have a look at a quick review with respect to what we've taught you so far. The tribe strategy number 1, don't sell the Amazon Megabuck lottery tickets. Strategy number 2, avoid the predictable problems. We talked about products to avoid. The tribe strategy number 3 is all about product variation and that existing need. Someone needs it. Someone's going to be going in there searching for a specific product because that is what they want to purchase there and then. Strategy number 4, the revenue distribution. It's important to have that even revenue distribution. We talked about that. We talked about the strategy number 5 is all about test, evaluate, and improve your listing. Get those 5 strategies right, and you set yourself up. You've stacked the odds in your favor, and moving forward, picking the right product. If you've got the right product, you can start this business, and you can then grow the business, like Rob said earlier. Multiple products. So we've got 5 products up and running. You've got 10 products up and running. You've got diversified products. You've got yourself a very good foundation in order to build your business selling physical products on the platform as Amazon. Okay. Now, the bonus strategy at the end. We're here to solve your analysis by paralysis information overload. Everybody goes through this. Let me tell you, everybody goes through this at some point. Some people worse than others. But you will find yourself looking at a product thinking, is this the right product or not? I really don't know. I think I better go and find another one. And then all of a sudden you're just going round and round this big loop with respect to, you know what, I don't even know where I am anymore. I thought I had a good product, but now I really don't know. And you just get lost. And this is what we call analysis by paralysis, because you're overthinking things. You are analyzing it too much. We're here to solve that problem.
Hey guys, how great is it to hear what successful products have in common? Those strategies are very easy to get. It's not something that's super complex. I'm sure you've watched other webinars, listened to podcasts, read articles, read blog posts, whatever it might be. And what happens is no one is very specific on the kind of things that you got to look for when you're buying a product. There's a lot of, just find something on page 1 that sells 10 units a day, and that's your product. That is not your product. Your product is every single word associated with the main keyword of the product you're going to purchase. And you're competing, if there's 150 people or 500 people, you're competing with all those people. And you start at the bottom and you work your way to the top. So you're competing with the lower sales guys way before you're competing with that front page. So saying that's my product and that's the only product that I'm going to compete with is kind of a lost cause. So how many of you guys out there feel like someone turned on the light switch for you? Like you're in a dark room and someone went, oh, well, that makes sense. No one's ever told me that. So most people are relieved to hear these common sense and get some clarity and some information you can actually implement right away. Like you'll be able to stop after this and go out there and start looking at products and evaluating what's actually happening. The number one problem is that the reason most people fail is information overload, and that you're left alone to figure that out. So you're overwhelmed, you have no idea what to do, who's going to give you the information, who you're going to talk to, who you're going to ask questions of. You're basically left alone to figure it out. If you bought $1,000 course and you're sitting here today, you're likely here because you read the course, you've watched videos, you've done all of these things, and the problem is you still have all this information and you don't know what to do. So then you go out and buy another course or get another book or watch 20 more videos on YouTube. You're doing all these things because you're just alone and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to figure it out. I mean, that's the biggest problem that everybody gets stuck in. They get too much information. They're stuck in making a decision. They buy multiple courses. They watch videos and podcasts and all of these things. But at the end of the day, you're still stuck in one place, which is there's no one to talk to. There's no one actually that you can actually have a conversation with and go, hey, well, what about this? Or what should I do with this? So courses with untold riches and webinars and podcasts and promises of, $10,000 a month aren't the kind of things that the Gorillaz are looking for. The Gorillaz tribe is looking for those simple things to have multiple products with low risk and be able to have 4, 5, 6 of those all making $500, $1,000, $2,000 a month. And the next thing you know, you're making $4,000 and $5,000 a month, or $3,000. Or what happens if you only make $500 a month? That $500 a month will pay your car payment, it'll pay your electricity bill, your cell phone bill. So the idea is to build that up and continue to move forward and grow a sustainable business. So I guess the bottom line is how much confidence would you have if you could work inside of a group? Because it's a proven fact, and we all know this, that you're 10 times more likely to succeed with a group of people on a project than you are to figure it out on your own, to set out there on your own path. To find the roadmap to success is much harder when you have no idea and you've never done a business like that. So what the Gorillaz do is it's a step-by-step roadmap with a virtual classroom. The Gorillaz, from time to time, we open up the Gorillaz tribe and we look for new sellers that want to gain the knowledge and support and resources they need to actually launch a product. And so at the end of the day, we solve one of the biggest problems. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on a course or even $100. You don't have to do this alone.
I just want to reiterate something here, Rob, if I can. I just want to draw your attention to the text in red, guys. It's a proven fact that you are 10 times more likely to succeed when working in a group. Okay, let me repeat that. You are 10 times more likely to succeed when working in a group. We're not talking about just working in a group. We're talking about working in a group and being able to ask questions and get your questions answered live there and then. Okay, there's a big difference between that and what the Gorillaz do. So you may have been wondering what we're talking about, the tribe and the Gorillaz and the group and everything like this. Rob just did mention that we do open up every now and again. We do open up the doors to invite in people. Now, what we don't do is invite in thousands and thousands of people. That's not what we're all about, because we want to keep this a small, tight group and a nice community to work with, simply because Rob and I do work on that virtual classroom, and it is a case you can actually reach us, and that takes time. What we're looking at here is a minimal cost of $48 a month, just $48. And on top of that, this is a no risk entry, because there's a full 14 days, there's a 2 weeks evaluation. And within that 2 weeks, you can guarantee that you're going to be on at least one of the live calls we have. Okay, now what we do in the live calls, we go through every week. It's on a Sunday night. We go through a particular topic, whether that's going through some software, going through the training, going through product research, going pick a product, analyzing a listing, whatever the case may be. It's varied, but it's very specific and content orientated. And you do have the opportunity to jump on that call live and ask questions. And you can ask questions about the topic of the day or anything related to your Amazon business. Okay, that is the power of jumping on those weekly calls. You can also ask questions within the community. Rob and I do answer the questions within the community as well. And that's not just Facebook. There's Facebook and other platforms such as YouTube we're monitoring. Okay. Now, like I said, reiterate this again, being part of a group makes it 10 times more likely to be successful. I don't know how many times it more is successful being able to ask questions live and get your answers there and then. The important thing for us is that you are being able to build and start your business, and we are here to help you. Let me have a look at some of the library aspects. On top of the weekly coaching sessions, which is the topic of the day, and ask your questions, get those questions answered. We do that every week. So inside the membership, you'll get step-by-step, over-the-shoulder walkthrough videos. You get all of the tools walkthrough as well. So any of the tools that we're talking about, there is a detailed walkthrough on each of those tools on how to use it. So you're not left alone trying to work it out on your own. Like we said, we also do offer, like we said, if you do purchase through our link, we do offer that walkthrough with you as well. Okay. So everything is inside there, step by step, to get you from the start to the finish line and beyond, in order for you to build your business from that solid foundation. Problem solved. Okay, our personal coaching sessions allow you, like I said earlier, to actually ask questions. Now, we provide you a link and you can literally come down and you can be one of the presenters and actually ask questions. You know what, Paul, how do you do this? I've got a problem with my supplier in China. All right, let me have a look at it for you personally. I will get involved. Okay, I will get involved. Rob, what about this? What about this legal wording on the listing? You know, can you analyze that for me? Sure, no problems. We can do that. Okay, we're here to help you avoid all of those potholes. There's an elite mastermind. There's a private group that we've set up within Facebook that is purely for the members and members only. Okay, now we do record the weekly sessions. Okay, and the only people going to see those weekly sessions is the group members, because that's where they're held in the mastermind group. If we have a general, okay, this is a brand new tool, guys, this is a public tool, we will sometimes make that video available for the wider audience. But in general, if you're asking questions specific to your product and everything like this, no one else is going to see that information. It is off camera, it is off recording, it is between us and you. We also are very lucky to be able to network with some of these experts, I guess, or gurus. I don't know what you want to call them, but sometimes we are lucky enough to get in specific speakers or experts in the industry. Now, sometimes we'll get in the owner or the developer of a specific software. In the past, we've had a legal expert with respect to Amazon. You know, his business was purely built around the legal aspects within Amazon and helping Amazon sellers get out of jams with respect to any legal aspects they get into. Accounting, we've had some accounting information people coming, really, really useful when it comes to taxes. We get a lot of information. How do I pay my taxes? What about this and that? We have the experts come in. We're lucky enough to be able to network with those, and they can come in and they're on a call sometimes with us. Okay, and new content. We have our finger on the pulse when it comes to this business. Okay, we bring you the latest information, the latest pieces of software, the latest pieces of training. We make sure that we are right up there on the edge of the curve with respect to new content. And we're always updating the membership area with respect to getting that information in there. So that is just a quick overview of what is inside the membership. There's a ton of information in there. It's just jam-packed full of goodness.
What I want to add to that, Paul, is that where we're answering those questions during the week when you're stuck is inside of the Elite Mastermind, as well as all the other Gorillaz members are in there that can step up and help if you're having a small issue, if you're having a shipping problem, whatever it is. And that's where we'll be able to answer those problems for you between the sessions that we have. So you're kind of connected in all of the times. So the bottom line is, at the inside of the membership area, you're going to be able to do this at your own pace. So when you have an issue and you have some time, you can go in and watch videos. Now, it's in order. I mean, you're going to be able to start from the top of the first thing, which is the first 5 steps to set up your business. Then you're going to have to go through how to find a product. And then you're going to have to go through, how is it I find a supplier? How do I vet my supplier? How do I get my product shipped? And then how do I launch my product? How do I write a listing? How do I get pictures done? How do I find my keywords? So we go from step by step, over the shoulder, from front to back, so you can have all the information. Now, the reality is, ultimately, is that a course? I guess you could say it's a course. It's the guidebook that will help you follow through during this process. Now, you may have other courses that you've bought or whatever. We're not here trying to sell you a course. That's not the idea. The idea is to put you in a group of people that can help you walk through this process. So we just have all these videos, and we call it the library. So you can go into the library and you can study there, and here are the course books and things like that you can use. But at the end of the day, the most important thing here is the ability to be able to get with people and get your questions answered and do it together.
Talking of getting access, one of the things that you can see here is some of the tools. Now, some of the tools that you can see here we've developed. The Super Product Selector, that's based on an Excel, Microsoft Excel program. That's a product that we put together. The supplier chart. There's a whole video with respect to what goes with the supplier chart, comparison chart there. There's the complete mini course, how to find a product champion. That's all inside. Some of this is free, but all of these tools are available inside. This is just a quick snippet, just a quick screenshot with respect to the amount of information that is available. Again, because we've developed some of these tools, we'll certainly be able to help you walk through each of these. And each of these has been designed in order to help you find a product or move forward in one aspect with the business. All for $48.
Hey, Paul, what I want to do is, at this point, is I would love to share the thoughts of some of the members and kind of give you a little bit of idea of what a session looks like, so you can hear some of the topics that we go over and get an idea how the process works and how a live call works, and actually hear from some of the members. So I'm going to play this 1.5-minute video that just kind of gives you some perspective on that. So if you'll just stick around for another 1.5 minutes, we appreciate your time listening to us, but we really want to explain the Gorillaz tribe. And if you've got enough information here, hey, thank you so much for listening. I want to share a couple more things with you about the tribe, because I think it can really help a lot of people. So here's this video.
And anybody contemplating an e-commerce business using Amazon as the platform, they really need to get with somebody that will answer their calls and answer those day-to-day questions that bug all of us. And in my case, I've certainly experienced Rob is available.
How much confidence would you have if you could join a small group of motivated, successful sellers and coaches that meet weekly for interactive educational workshops and personal coaching? You could ask questions and get answers in our virtual classroom.
What you got to do is, if you've got a question, just drop it in the chat box and we'll get around to it.
What we're going to do today is we're going to cover keywords.
So the content is huge, but also not only the Facebook group, I can interact, I can talk with people, pick their brains on the fly, and the webinars, the weekly calls.
We're going to talk about the first 5 steps to starting your business. We can help you gain the confidence you need. We can help you get your product launched. We're going to help you with the #1 problem most sellers have: how to find a product. We'll even show you how to use product finding software like Jungle Scout and AmaSuite to find product champions. For only $48 a month, there's no contract and you can cancel at any time. We know for a fact that you're 10 times more likely to succeed in a group, and that's what the Gorillaz Tribe can do for you. Click the link below and join us in the Gorillaz Tribe. There's no need to spend thousands of dollars on a course and still be left alone to figure it out. There's too much to learn and too many mistakes to make. And if you use the wrong strategy, you will fail. Join the Gorillaz Tribe. You don't have to do this alone.
What I'd like to do now is just introduce us. My name is Paul Adams, and my background is really in sourcing and working with the Chinese. I've been working with the Chinese suppliers for the past 25 years. I lived in China for 5 or 6 years between that. And this has really helped me and everybody within the group really bring upon my experience with respect to how to source products, how to deal with suppliers, and everything related to the Chinese side of the business. Rob, you've got your own little story, so I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hey, thanks, Paul. Again, I'm Rob Fortney Jr., and I have been an independent Amazon seller who's become location independent over the last 3 years. I was in the restaurant business for 15 years before I started doing the Amazon business. And it's really changed everything about my life and given me some independence in it. Now, Paul and I, just to give you a little background of both of us together, Paul and I have successfully launched, I think, around a dozen different products, and we've done hundreds of thousands of dollars of business and sales. But what we're most proud of, I think, Paul, is the Gorillaz boot camps that we've done over the last 3 years. We've helped hundreds of people start their Amazon businesses and actually become successful sellers. So, hey, Paul, why don't you tell them a little bit about who the Amazon Gorillaz are, and then we're going to get right into the webinar, because we want you to know where this information comes from, so that you know there's some credibility to it and that it comes from a place of knowledge and experience actually in the Amazon business.
Yeah, sure. Well, Rob, well, the Amazon Gorillaz is a group of sort of a small, tight-knit community of sellers. And what we do is we get together on a weekly basis to bring everybody new knowledge, as well as training, over-the-shoulder walkthrough. And it's a case of getting questions asked and answered there and then. I think I'm certainly one of them. There's a number of people out there that have been on a number of different courses, and it could be a case of like a shiny new syndrome with respect to there's a new course got to come up. I'm going to jump on that one because I'm bound to get more information. We have helped hundreds of people launch their business successfully, and I think that is really down to one thing and one thing only, and that is being able to work as a group in this community and reach out individually and ask those questions and get an answer pretty much virtually straight away. And that is what we pride ourselves on, and that is basically the core of the Amazon Gorillaz.
So you can see that some great things are happening inside of there. You were able to see people actually giving their testimony of how the Gorillaz have helped them. And then as well as, see some of the clips from some of the weekly training sessions that we've been doing for 3 years. 300 hours of content we've created. We've created, I think, Paul, we've got over 15,000 people in our Facebook groups and friends and stuff like that. We've had over, I think we're up to 7 million minutes of time watched on YouTube, watching these videos that we put out over and over again. So we really try to add value to the community. But the main thing is that you really don't need to go out there and buy a $1,000 course or a $5,000 course. Paul paid $4,000 or $5,000 for his course. So what we're going to give to you as a bonus, okay, so this is huge, $48 a month, we're going to give you this bonus. What we're going to do is we're going to create a live small group and have a personal business planning session with you, with the tribe members. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit down with you. We're going to give you some advice. We're going to make a plan for you specifically, what it is that you need to do. What's the steps that you need to make first? And we're going to answer questions during that thing. So you're going to actually sit down with Paul or I, maybe both of us, maybe even a couple other members from the tribe. And we're going to try to get you the information you need. We're going to give you the exact strategy that we're using. We'll go over it again, or whatever it is that you need to do to plan and make a plan for your business and get any questions you have answered right out of the gate. You know, when you worked on group projects before, people were able to help you solve problems quicker and to get through potholes, that you don't have to make the mistakes because person A has already made that mistake and they're able to share with you that mistake is not being made again because you already know that pothole's there.
So I just want to reiterate again, it's just $48 a month. I know this is a repeat of the slide, but it's just a powerful slide. It's just $48 a month, and you get a free 14-day evaluation, basically. So if you're not happy with it, we'll just return your money. It's not a problem, absolutely in that first month. After the second month, if you don't want it to, just cancel just cancel. Like Rob said, it's the information's there. You are going to get a ton of information, but the value of this course is not necessarily in the library. It's not necessarily in the walkthrough. Don't get me wrong. The walkthroughs will get you up and running. They'll get you up and running. Absolutely 100%. Being able to reach out live and ask a question and get the answer. Okay. That is where the value of this is. So I just want to say thanks very much for coming along. Now, if you have stuck around, I can guarantee you those 5 strategies that we covered earlier, you will be able to take those away and implement those on your business. Okay. If you're just starting out, use those as a guide in order to find your product, and you will be able to move through that a lot easier with a little bit of clarity as opposed to if you had zero information. Okay. Now, we did say that we're going to be able to give you access to the toolbox. The link is here. All you got to do is click on that, and that's going to take you through to the gorillazbootcamp.com, and that's our webpage. On the webpage, you will be able to see the big red banner. Click on that, or big red link. Click on that, and that will give you access to our toolbox. Inside the toolbox, I'm not going to go through it. It's just too much information to go through, but included in there is that mini course, don't forget, that will allow you to go from zero to virtually hero free. Okay, we're giving you that on how to pick a product. There's all of the other tools that we briefly looked at earlier on that large montage of tools. The super product selector. Use the super product selector, guys. It's a gold mine. There's a video that goes with it as well, but it gives you the attributes with respect to what to look for, and we've covered a lot of those today on how to find a product. So I'm just going to hand it back to Rob. Thanks very much again for everybody that's listening. I really hope you get the Amazon vibe and become part of the tribe.
So I want to review one more time, guys. If you look at the bottom of the page below the webinar or in the description, you can see the link for the Gorillaz Bootcamp that you can go to and get the toolbox. If you really look at the top of the page, and I mean at the top of the page, you'll see it's a big red box. You can't miss it. You just click it and it'll take you through the process of getting the toolbox. Hey, we want to thank you guys for coming so much. Hey, Paul, if you want to come on screen with me, and we'll say goodbye to everybody. Avoid the big giant holes that are going to be in your way. They're going to stop you from getting the things done that you need to do. And so you don't become discouraged. You don't become overwhelmed anymore, because you have a place to get the answers that you need to become a successful Amazon seller. Hey, I want to thank you so much for giving me your time. I know your time's valuable. I hope that we have given you enough information that the time that you've spent with us becomes a wealth of information that you can use later on in your Amazon business. Paul, thank you for coming with us. You got anything to add to that?
I just want to say that those tribe members that have signed up, and we do have a number of people that signed up and been with us for a long time. Yeah, some of those are very, very successful, and they are part of they're not part of the tribe, they're part of the family now. They're part of the family, and they really, really are. And we're very proud to be, I don't know, we're parents and that, but yeah, we're really close to some of these tribe members simply because we've helped them change their life. Their lives have changed simply because they've been able to build that business, and they've built it from the knowledge they've gained from within the tribe. That's all I've got. Thanks very much for listening, guys. You take care.
Thank you. Links at the bottom. Join us in the tribe right down below. All you got to do is click it. It's $48 a month.
Take care, guys. We're out. Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm Rob Fortney Jr. of the Amazon Gorillaz Tribe of Sellers. Amazon.com does almost $500 billion in sales each year and has 100 million customers worldwide with a one-click button to buy your product. The real deal billion-dollar opportunity. It's a proven fact that people who work in groups are 10 times more likely to achieve their goals of success. And that's why I created the Gorillaz Tribe. The Tribe is a group of Amazon sellers that have been sharing knowledge, support, and resources with each other for more than 2 years. How much confidence would you have if you could join our small group of motivated, successful sellers and coaches that have launched hundreds of successful products for only $48? The one big difference between the Gorillaz and all other Amazon training: you're not left alone to figure it out. You can ask questions and get answers in our virtual live classroom during our weekly educational workshops, where industry leaders and successful business owners share their inside secrets and teach the members every week. Of course, we've created a step-by-step informational video course with guides and tools inside the membership area so that you can learn at your own pace and bring your questions to the weekly virtual live classroom. We're going to help you with the number one problem most sellers have: how to find a product. We'll even show you how to use product finding software like Jungle Scout and AmaSuite to find product champions. For only $48 a month, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. We know for a fact that you're 10 times more likely to succeed in a group, and that's what the Gorillaz Tribe can do for you. Click the link below and join us in the Gorillaz Tribe. There's no need to spend thousands of dollars on a course and still be left alone to figure it out. There's too much to learn and too many mistakes to make. And if you use the wrong strategy, you will fail. Join the Gorillaz Tribe. You don't have to do this alone.